you can see that this is the id root. Only this id root is actually good and we are having some problem. Okay, they're telling that in the index.js it got some error. It's telling that the class comp is defined but never used. Okay, that's awesome because we're not using this class comp, so we should delete that from here. Now it is awesome. So save it again and now it should be fine. Now we just made the component here and we are just calling the component here. So here we're calling this component, and here what we just did here, the .props.new component. So the new component is actually not the children, it's the attribute. So first attribute was the class data. So I'm going here and first of all, now I'm using things like the class data equal to now some props data from the from the class component in the app component. Saving it. Now going to the browser. Here I can see that oh, I should not be in the need of refreshing the page anyway. Okay, I got it. I've got it. You know, the nested class component starts from here. So this is the data we are getting from the props in the class component. This is data we're getting from the props in the class component. Some props data from the class components in the app component. So now there we've got it. But you can see that there's some new data here and the children data is empty by now, because here in the class com.js we don't have the data for this .props.new component, this .props.children. So I'm going back to the app.js. Now I can actually use it as a reusable component. I can even call those data here, or I can make some other ones here like that, the P. Okay, and anyways, it's also not a very good practice to use the same component at the same page, but I'm just doing that and I'm gonna show you how bad it is. So here I'm using this 2 times. In the first time I'm using it as a empty tag, but in the next one I'm using the both starting and the ending tag, and here I'm adding some data like the children data, and here I'm adding the next thing. I'm going here, and here the second one is a new component. So the new component equal to some new component data. Now I'm again telling you that using reusable components is a feature of the React, but this is not a very good practice to use the same component multiple times unless we actually need it. Now you're gonna see the problems we are gonna face because we used the same component 2 times in the same page. I'm going back to the browser. Reload is already done. Okay, you can see that the nested class component, it starts from here. Hello from the class component, hello from the class component. There are 2 times we just call the CLS.com, the class component. Now this is the data we're getting from the props in the class component, some props data from the class component in the app component. Okay, then we've got nothing for the 2 others, but the second time, because we added the data, some new data here, some new component, the children data, the children data. This is we actually written in the calling of the component second time. So this is absolutely bad. So this is the best solution is to use any component inside another component or nesting single times or multiple times unless we need that. In the next video we're gonna tell you a possible case in which case you can use the same component multiple times in another component. We need to see if the condition is possible or no. So we're going to discuss that in the next video because this time we've had enough. So take care.